This is serious. What's that? Like that? Here? Like that? This close? That's too close. Okay. All right, so when I'm up here, if I'm not close enough, just, you'll be right there. Just give me a, Cynthia will go, "You asshole, get closer to the mic." Just flew in from Lambertville, and boy are my arms tired. Yeah, this is going to be a little.
We could ask everybody to take a seat. We'd like to get started. Thank you for taking a seat so we could get started. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd appreciate it if you could take your seat as we'd like to get started. Good evening, everyone. Please take your seats now. Thank you. Okay, we're going to get started. Good evening and welcome, Spartans. This is a true Immaculata crowd. You can't quiet them down. I think we have a fine-looking group here tonight. What do you think? It's so nice to see everybody, isn't it? Well, we'd like to welcome everybody who's here in person and also know that we have several people virtually watching it today as well. So we welcome them on the live stream. But thank you very much for taking time out of your very busy schedules to help us celebrate this amazing Hall of Fame class of 2021. I'm Linda Larangera Pescado. I'm a proud alum of the class of 1978. I'm a parent of 2 alum, and I have a sister who's an alum. So got a lot of blue blood going in me. But I'm once again honored to be here tonight and to serve as your chairperson for this event. When we gather together as Spartans, family and friends alike, we always like to capture the moment. So now that I have you all seated, I'm going to ask everyone to please stand and look towards, what? Where's? Scholars got to get to this side to take a picture. This is Skylar Esposito. He's an alumni of Immaculata, and he's helping out with our photography tonight, so thank you, Skylar.
No problem.
So if everybody would please look towards the staircase where Skylar is.
All right, yeah, so listen to me now. We're going to do 2 shots. I take one with my camera and one with my phone so we can tweet it because of social media. So we're going to do the phone one first. Everybody's going to be looking at me and waving, then we're going to do the camera one. So give me a second. Absolutely. Everybody's good side. All right, count of 3.
1, 2, 3. So far, so good. You're doing well. You're doing well. Say, go Spartans. Thank you very much. So, a little housekeeping note. This is important. You're really going to want to hear this. So, a little housekeeping note. On behalf of Mark Hamill, who is the president of the Palace, this is really important. Really appreciate it if you pay attention. Thank you. Thank you. So on behalf of Mark Hamill, who is the president of the Palace, you're going to like this, because the open bar has been extended for the full evening for this wonderful crowd. So we thank the Palace very much. Okay. So, at Immaculata, we've introduced a new tagline that many Spartans have already learned from their time in Somerville. We aim higher here in all our endeavors. And our team certainly found this out as they began their review of nominations for this Hall of Fame class. As the team went through over, get this, 100 nominations, we found out amazing details of some extraordinary Spartans. You can only imagine the dedication of this group as we conducted our discussions over, yes, Zoom. Very difficult decision-making, but the team stayed focused, and tonight is a result of their hard work. We once again have provided at each of your tables copies of our commemorative journal and our Spartan Success Story booklets. You will certainly see how those honored this evening, as well as other Spartans, have aimed higher at Immaculata and continue to aim higher in their lives beyond the big blue walls. For those who are honored this evening and are no longer with us, we know that the dedication they showed during their time at Immaculata was well spent, and that they look down on those that continue the journey and keep us safe, and hopefully somehow remind us how important our Spartan spirit is. Many of our current Hall of Famers are here with us tonight, and they, along with those being inducted, have shared the unbelievable places they've been, what they've accomplished, and not to mention how many have given back or continue to give back to Immaculata. On your tables, you'll find a tent card offering you the opportunity to be counted as a Spartan Fund supporter. Spartan Fund donors will be recognized annually for their unrestricted or restricted contributions to Immaculata. Your attendance tonight is a true blessing, and it helps defray the cost of our gathering. A gift to the Spartan Fund will have a direct impact on our future Spartans, our future Hall of Famers. We learned that there are many current and former IHM sisters, teachers, coaches, and other students that touch the lives of our inductees. And many of those are also in our audience tonight. And on behalf of the Hall of Fame, thank you for the impact you have had on each of them. Well, we put this all together, and the class of 2021 evolved. And we're so excited to share the journeys we've learned about them and how they became our newest inductees. So congratulations to them. As chair of this event, I continue to be amazed at the time, the energy, and the vision of those behind the scenes that contributed to making this evening come to life. Thank you to all our sponsors, our amazing jazz ensemble who performed during our cocktail hour. Those who helped us write scripts, videotaped, photographed, sang for us, lent their voices, and so much more. It certainly took more than a village this time around. This is an incredible group of individuals, and I'm forever grateful to all of you for your help over this last year. I would like to express a very special thanks to my key advisors, all alumni, Rich Rao, Stacy Geary in Immaculata's Advancement Office, and Rob Helwig. They put up with my many agenda timelines and follow-ups. Thank you for your patience, understanding, support, and friendship. I could have never chaired this event without each of you. We truly did aim higher here, and we did it together. I would ask our guests tonight, if you do please join me in a round of applause as I ask our Hall of Fame committee to please stand and to please be recognized. So guys, up you go, let's go. We have a wonderful night planned for all of you. It's our hope that you keep coming back, keep supporting us with all that you can, in every way that you can. And remember that when we are ready for the Hall of Fame class of 2023, you nominate those special individuals you feel have exemplified the pillars of Immaculata: faith, scholarship, service, friendship, and belong on our Hall of Fame wall, a wall that has become an example to future Spartans looking to aim higher here. It is now my honor to introduce another alumni, Gerard Rabillon, to sing the national anthem, followed by an invocation by Monsignor Solano and a few words from our head of school, Ms. Joan Silo. I'll be back in a little while, but now, Gerard.
Please stand for the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now it's my pleasure to welcome Monsignor Joe Solano to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Monsignor Joe Solano. I'm the new pastor of Immaculate Conception Church and director of Immaculata High School and Immaculate Conception School. It's my great joy to be able to welcome you here tonight and to thank you for your continued support of this institution, this great institution of Immaculata High School. We couldn't do it without you, so thank you for being here tonight. I'm going to ask you to stand once again and join me in praying the blessing of God upon this gathering tonight. And so let us pray in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Father, thank you for all the gifts of grace and blessing you have given to us. Help us to enter into tonight's events with a heart that is filled with gratitude for what has been, vision for what lies ahead of us, and above all, with that love that binds all things together and makes them holy. We pray especially for those whom we will honor tonight, that in recognizing their gifts and contributions to Immaculata, we will recognize you, the source from which all good things flow. Make us keenly aware of your goodness, and may this awareness express itself in the witness of our lives to your infinite goodness. And join me in praying, bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty, through Christ our Lord. Amen. Mary Immaculate, pray for us. Thank you, everybody, and once again, welcome.
Gives me great pleasure to now introduce our head of school, Ms. Joan Silo.
Good evening. Thank you so much for coming tonight. It is wonderful to be here at the beautiful palace. and it is great to be with all of you. We truly appreciate you joining us this evening. Congratulations to our Hall of Fame class of 2021. What you accomplished during your time at Immaculata and since then is worthy of celebration, and we are thankful to share in your successes of the past and today. This is the perfect ending to a school year in which our amazing teachers and staff provided in-person instruction, full days, 5 days a week. We are so proud of them. Of course, this was happening in Catholic schools across the nation. It is another point that highlights that nothing tops Catholic education. I am in this field today because of individuals like the moms and dads of our Hall of Famers in this room tonight. My parents, too, were hard workers with 6 children making ends meet as an insurance salesman and a nurse. Despite the moderate income, they knew the significant value of a Catholic education. And for them, there was but one choice, and that was the nearest Catholic school. Like many of you, to make it work, they sacrificed here and there. Having read the bios of our Hall of Famers, I am confident your parents knew that it was going to be worth every challenge. You have remarkable accomplishments. So thank you to our early generations of moms and dads. Your efforts have produced wonderful fruit, and we are grateful to celebrate them this evening. Great things are happening at Immaculata and because of Immaculata. Through faith, academics, and extracurriculars, we continue to prepare students for a Christ-centered life, for college, and for careers. If you can't keep up with all the social media posts and the emails, I would like to share some highlights. You will not be surprised to hear that our students are still getting into amazing schools. Katie Gorman, our salutatorian a couple years ago, is studying political science at Columbia University. Michael Blandino, our valedictorian last year, is at Villanova studying to become a mechanical engineer. Gerard Robulon, who just led us in the national anthem, is among the Fighting Irish at Notre Dame. Peter Gallo, our valedictorian 2 years ago, is at St. Joe's on a full academic scholarship to play Division I baseball. And Stephen Dwyer, who is with us tonight, just wrapped up his junior year at Wagner, and his schoolmate Kevin Holtby wrapped up his sophomore year at Hobart, both Division I lacrosse programs that play each other, and their most recent matchup was quite a nail-biter. We continue to advance our academic profile. This year's valedictorian, Olivia Izzo, who aspires to become a doctor, was very excited to be among the first to take 2 intense college-level health science courses through our new educational partner, Rutgers University, and their Health Science Careers program. Sarah's ambitions to become a mental health professional have her very thrilled about another new partner, St. Peter's University Hospital. Sarah is one of our students who recently submitted an application for our new academic initiatives that we are rolling out in September. We are calling them signature programs. Students seeking specific college and career readiness through a signature are required to take certain courses and to complete 20 hours of in-field industry exploration. St. Peter's is ready to provide Immaculata students personalized learning opportunities throughout their hospital system. Music enthusiasts and siblings, Victoria and Will, just signed up for our music signatures. They are interested in both the instrumental and vocal tracks. And we have 3 tracks for our arts signature: fine arts, digital arts, and multimedia communications. Matt is one that applied for the digital arts because he is preparing to become a film producer. Spring track, have you heard the news? Though this was a developmental year for many sports, given our smaller than average senior class and the impact of COVID, spring track ran to many new heights. Led by Coach Heibel, Immaculata class of '05, they were the non-public B state champions, with senior James Patak winning 7 individual state championship titles and setting several new school records over the past 2 years. And they didn't even have a 2020 spring season due to COVID. This future Hall of Famer, no doubt, is heading off to LaSalle in August. And just this week, sophomore Cameron Chadwick received his first Division I offer for football from Temple University. Cameron is hopeful for more D1 offers. One thing about Immaculata that has never changed over the years, and I anticipate never will, is that its hallways are always filled with students of character and class. You would be impressed and proud if you were able to spend some time with our Spartans today. They are equally as impressive as many of you in this room who have come before them. And the family feel within the community is as strong as ever. These are just a few highlights of the good things that are happening at Immaculata. We also have the generosity of many, but the need for more. Thank you to those who have supported us financially this fiscal year. With less than 1 week remaining, we can surpass our $500,000 for our Spartan Fund, which includes all of the dollars raised in support of Immaculata High School. This represents an 8% increase in giving and a 30% increase in the number of gifts as compared to the 2019-20 fiscal year. Please use the QR code found at your table to push us over the edge, over the top. Why is your support important? Because all strong Catholic high schools that offer high-quality learning experiences do so in part from the generosity of their alumni and friends. We need you. Why is it important today? Because we are excited about our summer projects. We are installing a beautiful new Field of Dreams. You're going to see some renditions of that very soon. It's going to be beautiful. We are completing our parking lot paving project, which we began last summer. And we are going greener with our solar power project, which will allow us to benefit from much needed new roofs and reduced electric expenses. So I will not be offended if you pretend to be listening as I wrap up my remarks, but you are really fighting to grab the nearest QR code. And while you are on that site, if you accidentally hit an extra zero, know that the Holy Spirit was at work. Wishing you God's many blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us tonight. And remember, once a Spartan, always a Spartan. Please come visit. We have a lot to show off. Thank you all. Have a great night. I'll take this.
Thank you, Joan. So just so you know, as we go through the evening, please enjoy your meal because we will be doing presentations during the dinner period. So, if you think it's really hard to pick a Hall of Fame class, it's even more difficult to pick a Master of Ceremony. But then again, perhaps this video we'll be about to show you might help you understand the choice or choices a little more closely. So watch the video screens, please.
What brings you in here? You gonna get all tightened up? You got something special going on?
Yeah, John, I do. You have to make me look sharp. I'm gonna be the MC at the Immaculata Hall of Fame dinner on June 24th at the Palace.
Wow, that's exciting. You got the list of inductees? I'd like
dude.
to take my shot at being the MC, Coach.
Good, good,
Who you got going in? Maybe I can help you out.
I'll test you.
All right, let's see here. You got Catherine Loya going in, Immaculata's first school employee. But that's impossible. I thought you were here way before everybody else.
No, I think she came a few years ahead of me, 2 or 3.
Gotcha. Janet Reagan Hadar, 86, first female president of UNC Health. Kenneth Riemann, 97. He was a percussionist in The Air Force Band, Eileen Salinger-Logan. I remember her, 1,000-point basketball scorer, women's hoops. Mike Cuss, first-team All-American baseball. Josh Morrison, Anthony Gargiulo, Brian Shemish. The 81 ladies softball team. That's the school's first state championship team. I didn't know that.
Calm down.
I'm sorry, Coach. I get excited.
I know. You're Italian. Listen to me.
Okay.
If you want to co-host with me, I would love to have you. But you have to calm down. And you can't show me up.
That'll never
You
happen,
can't
Coach.
get too excited.
You got it. I'll keep my calm and cool. All right?
Sounds good.
Me and you, June 24th at the Palace in Somerset.
What a
Immaculata 2021 Hall of Fame dinner.
What a pair.
Let's do it. Who's going in this year?
Well, I happen to have a list right here.
Oh, gee, very convenient. School leader in stolen bases. You know what? My friend Mike Parenti might want to have a recount with the stolen base things there, all right?
It's, well, I don't know what you can do. How much do you charge?
Well, what are we looking for, Coach? Because I went to petition school, not magician school.
Well, how much do you charge?
For you? Well, you're a Hall of Famer, so I'm going to charge you $10. How's that?
I only have 10 minutes.
Oh, two.
Check. Football.
Football. My bad.
You get this guy.
Without further introduction needed, please welcome to the stage Coach Pierce Fronheim and John Commune. Enjoy your evening.
Just a sec, yeah.
Good evening. It's so good to see all of you. I'm going to start mentioning a couple names, really a very big part of Immaculata. We're representing the Sisters of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, Sister Dolores Margaret. You know, when I went to John's barber shop, kind of full head of hair. And I asked him how much it cost. He said $10. I said, I don't have that many hairs. Good to work with you, John.
Good to work with you, Coach. Doesn't he look sensational? Coach, you look Coach, you look better than when I graduated. What's the secret?
Good life, good wife.
Perfect. I'm John Commune, class of '88. Very excited to be here. One of the greatest gifts I ever got in my life was from my mom and dad, and that was for the opportunity to attend Immaculata High School in Somerville, New Jersey. Herb Brooks, who was the coach of the 1980 gold medal hockey team, once said, "Great moments are born from great opportunity." These recipients tonight, they had a great opportunity, and they ran with it, and they walked all the way into the Immaculata Hall of Fame.
I'd like to congratulate all the award winners tonight. It's a great accomplishment. I can remember when John here was a student at Immaculata High School. He was in my office so much, I used to charge him rent. but he had a great opportunity. Super guy. And it's a real pleasure to be with you tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Farnham. So let's get to it. Tonight's first inductee, and welcome to the Immaculata Hall of Fame, Janet Regan Hadar. Please look at the video screen.
Congratulations. Is there a film?
You're going to play the video first.
Yeah.
Stand right there.
Janet Regan Hayter is recognized as a role model, serving as inspiration for our Immaculata students and graduates. Former teachers and classmates remember her well for her warm personality and strong friendship. During her time at Immaculata, Janet was involved in many extracurricular activities, including student council and captain of the cheerleading squad. After graduating Immaculata, Janet continued her education at Villanova University, earning a bachelor's degree in nursing. She began her career as an intensive care unit nurse at the hospital of the University of Pennsylvania, where she also obtained her master's degree in nursing and continued her education at Case Western Reserve University, where she earned her MBA. As her career progressed, Janet thrived at the UNC hospitals in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, serving as the Senior Vice President of Operations. She then became the first female president of UNC Health Triangle West Hospital, which includes 4 hospitals and another 70 ambulatory care locations. In spite of a tremendous workload and responsibility, Janet makes every effort to meet with as many staff as possible, recognizing that input from all is key to attaining a high-performing organization and of service to the people of North Carolina. Janet is part of an Immaculata legacy. Her 4 siblings are graduates of IHS, and she is blessed to keep those close family relationships beyond distance of state lines and work commitments. Janet lives in North Carolina with her husband Eldad and 2 sons, and feels fortunate to have a successful career and a husband who provided unconditional support. Janet shared about the foundation for her success, saying, "For me, it started with my high school education. Immaculata provided a foundation of values to include respect, compassion, intellectual curiosity, and the importance of hard work. These are the values that I prioritize in my personal and professional life." In addition to our traditional introduction, we are grateful to the UNC Health Foundation for providing some additional footage of Janet in action.
Presenting the award to Janet is a former Hall of Famer, Mr. Joe Gala. Janet, it's all yours.
Thank you so much. I didn't know that was coming. I've got a terrific communications team, and thank God my hair doesn't look like it did in the 80s anymore. Really. And thank you very much, Joe, a fellow Immaculata and Villanova alum. Very coincidental there. I want to start by thanking the nominating committee and congratulating all of the inductees here this evening. Unlike many of my fellow inductees, I'm not a talented musician, nor am I a skilled athlete, hardly. I'd like to think that I'm a terrific singer, but it's become painfully apparent to me that I am the only one that thinks so. I get to be here this evening for having the good fortune of excelling in a career that has been professionally and personally rewarding to me. I've spent the better part of the past 20 years with UNC hospitals, and to tell you a little bit more about where I work, since it's pretty far away, UNC hospitals is the flagship medical center for the University of North Carolina's statewide healthcare system. We are about a 1,000-bed hospital with 13,000 employees in the heart of UNC's Chapel Hill campus, home to one of the largest clinical and research enterprises in the nation. On a daily basis, I'm thankful for the opportunity to work alongside brilliant doctors, nurses, and administrators. We're an organization focused on pushing the envelope of research and patient care to provide cutting-edge knowledge and treatments to the citizens of North Carolina and beyond. For the past 2 years, I've had the privilege of serving as president and CEO. I stepped into the role just before the world had heard about COVID. Talk about poor timing. Hell, had I known what was in store for me, I would have negotiated a higher salary. In all seriousness, excuse me, leading a major academic medical center through a once-in-a-century global pandemic has been the most humbling experience of my career. I can remember well back in March of 20, having to stand before the workforce and explain to them why they had to wear their masks for 5 days in a row and put them in a brown paper bag when they went home at evening, and looking at the distress on their face in disbelief. Fortunately, we're not there anymore, but witnessing the fortitude, commitment, and dedication of our frontline workforce who come to work every day to don their PPE and tirelessly care for patients, COVID and non-COVID alike, has really been a moving experience that I can't quite articulate yet. For me, professional success has been the result of hard work, good timing, certainly a lot of luck, and a strong educational foundation. I've been fortunate to attend terrific universities, both at the undergraduate and graduate level. And I'm convinced that these educational opportunities wouldn't have come my way without the appropriate academic foundation that I developed in high school. Immaculata instilled in me not only the value of a great education that served as the springboard to an amazing career and a commitment to being socially responsible, but more importantly, the value of friends and family. And I have many here this evening. All of my 4 siblings are here tonight, for which I am truly grateful. Above and beyond my professional accomplishments, I'm most proud of the family that I share with my husband, Eldad. We have 2 terrific sons who I just adore, and Daniel is here. I'm not sure it's for this reception. We're all playing golf tomorrow, and he wanted to come from North Carolina to play a round of golf, but most of you don't know, but my husband is an incredibly accomplished neurosurgeon. Despite the pressures of his profession, he's never wavered in supporting me. Early in our marriage, when I wanted to go back to school for an MBA with a baby at home, we had little money, and he was still in training. He said, "Go for it. We'll figure out how to do it." And when I wanted to study in Africa, and we didn't have family nearby to watch the kids, he said, "Do it. We'll figure it out." And over many years, since his grammar is far better than mine, he's graciously proofed all of my speeches, presentations, and even the letters that I write to the workforce. You've been a continuous source of confidence, encouragement, and humor, Eldad. And any recognition that I receive, I share with you. Lastly, I want to thank my sister Joan for nominating me. You see, I'm the youngest in the family, the youngest of 5, and I was always that little sister who our parents told you to take with you wherever you went. That little sister that borrowed your clothing without asking. Yeah, that was me. Who knew that one day I'd be viewed as anything more than a bratty little sister? Thank you so much, Joan. Your nomination means the world to me. Thank you all again, and have a wonderful evening.
Before next award, I'd like to introduce Monsignor Brennan. Monsignor Brennan spent 17 years at Immaculate Conception Parish, Immaculate High School, and Immaculate Conception School. I'm not sure where you are, Monsignor, but please stand. Tonight's second inductee is Mrs. Catherine Kaloya. Accepting the award for his mother is his son, her son, Greg Aloya, class of 1969. Greg. Please watch the video.
Affectionately known over the years as Mrs. Immaculata, Catherine Aloya is an original Spartan whose biography holds many titles: wife, mother, Immaculata Head Secretary, Immaculate Conception School Secretary, volunteer, friend, and helper to all. She was the first person Monsignor Eugene Kelly hired for Immaculata. Mrs. Aloya held dual roles for a few years at both the high school and grammar school before transitioning exclusively to Immaculata from 1963 through 1991. She was a friendly face to everyone who entered Immaculata, always smiling and offering support to students and faculty above and beyond her day-to-day responsibilities. Her kindness and generosity to all whom she met were legendary. While her role in the main office was very visible, perhaps her greatest contribution was her work behind the scenes at Immaculata. Assisted by her husband Attilio, himself a Spartan of the Year winner, Mrs. Aloya was a volunteer chaperone, fundraiser, ticket seller, event coordinator, bookkeeper, test typer, mimeograph guru, athletic and band booster, and even fashion model for an Immaculata pageant. A loving mother of Greg, 69, and Andrea, 73, Catherine was a member of the Rosary Altar Society and is mentioned in the History of Immaculate Conception publication. As a parent, she held positions of both secretary and treasurer of the then Fathers Club of Immaculata High School, now known as the Spartan Parent Club. Faculty and staff who worked with Mrs. Aloya were always grateful for her extra miles with typing and copying tests, exams, programs, and whatever was needed, especially those delicious homemade cookies for the teacher's lounge. Some people lead by example and leave a lasting memory of those they have touched. Induction into the Hall of Fame is recognition of Mrs. Aloya's significant contribution to the success and stability of Immaculata, most especially during our school's founding and early years of development.
Presenting the award is Hall of Famer Helen Sanford.
Congratulations. Congratulations. You're on, Greg.
I'm on? Yep, you're on. Oh, no pictures?
That's afterwards, I think. It's after.
Oh, after. Okay, I got it. Let me get the cheat sheet going here. So thank you, Pierce. First, a big shout out to the organizers of this event. It's been a lot of fun so far, and I think it's going to be more fun as we go on in the evening. I hope you've all had a chance to see in the program 3 or 4 pages from the end. There is a very small section of a longer nominating letter that a buddy of mine who couldn't be here tonight, but he submitted it to the nominating committee on behalf of my mother. And the text there really makes my job here pretty easy because it shines a light on the qualities that made Catherine an enduring presence at Immaculata. As the video noted, she started as the secretary and the office administrator at the grade school way back in 1957. In 1962, she started with the same roles at the high school, and actually for a couple of years, believe it or not, she fulfilled both roles for both schools. She held down that position at Immaculata for 30 years, and along the way, I'm told she became known as Mrs. Immaculata. With the exception of religious, women didn't really enter the workforce in great numbers until the 70s. So for her to start a successful career in the 50s and 60s was pretty extraordinary. Immaculata really provided her the space to establish an identity exclusive of her family and exclusive of her identity as a wife and a mother. It gave her a real sense of purpose outside of her home, outside of the neighborhood. She found a true sense of community at the school, and it really gave her the opportunity to be recognized and rewarded for her business skills, which again, at that period of time, was very unusual for women. Now, this was an inspiration for me as I became an adult, and certainly an inspiration for my sister, who also created a very successful career in education. In fact, Andrea told me recently that she sort of grew up at Immaculata because she was at the grade school, and when her school day was done, she would roll down Mountain Avenue to the high school and hang out with Catherine until Catherine's workday was over. And let me tell you, that workday did not end at 3 or 3:30. It really went deep into the day. Catherine brought some really serious business skills to her job. She was really, really organized. She took great pride in her work. She had a serious work ethic. And I'll tell you, she really, really showed up for whatever they threw at her at that school. She handled a lot. As an example, she would type up all the final exams for all the teachers for many years. She also handled something called a mimeograph machine. So for you young folks here, a mimeograph machine was something that was really messy, and you copied things one page at a time. And it was only 3 or 4 steps removed from actually copying things with a quill pen. Pretty amazing. She also serenaded the school every day with her serious Bronx accent over the intercom. So, and finally, she brought a deep sense of caring and empathy and also courage to her job at the school. And that's why students would go to her for personal advice. That's why she would go into her own pocket to give kids money for lunch when they forgot their lunch money or didn't have any lunch money. No strings attached. So just to conclude, I want to share a short story about her, and this is from her days at the grade school. And it was back in the day when corporal punishment was still sort of in the air at these schools, and one of the ways that corporal punishment was administered was with a leather strap in the front of the classroom, and that leather strap was in the office. At my mother's wake, I heard this story for the first time. One of my classmates came up to me, Denise, and said, "Let me tell you a story about your mother." She was misbehaving in class one day, and the teacher said, "Go to the office, get the strap from Mrs. Aloya." So, what do? You get out of your desk, down the aisle, out the door, down the hallway, into the office. There's Mrs. Aloya. "Mrs. Aloya, the teacher said to give me..." Legend has it that was the beginning of the end of corporal punishment at Immaculate Conception School. In conclusion, on behalf of my family, my classmates that are here, our friends, on behalf of Catherine, with deep gratitude, we thank you for the award. Thank you.
Helen Sanford, please join for the picture. Brian Shemish. Now, please turn to the video screen. Dale Florio, Hall of Famer, will be the presenter. Let's watch the video first.
Brian Shemis is considered one of the foundation players of Immaculata's highly successful lacrosse program, and his exceptional accomplishments reach far beyond the lacrosse field. As a midfielder, Brian helped Immaculata to the team's first state championship in 2007, setting the stage for 4 more state championship appearances. During the course of his high school career, he was recognized numerous times, including the 2005 Clutch Player of the Year, Courier News 2007 Preseason Player of the Year, and 2007 Player of the Year. The Star-Ledger also named Brian 2007 First Team All-State. The only 3-time captain in the program's history, Brian credits Immaculata for his success after graduation, made possible through the guidance and examples of his coaches and mentors. Brian's lacrosse success continued after graduating from Immaculata, making the United States Under-19 men's lacrosse team in 2008 and capturing the gold medal in the 2008 FIL World Championship Games. While attending Rutgers, he was elected the team's only captain his senior year, a USI LA Academic All-American in 2011, and participant in the North-South All-Star Game in 2011. Brian was also successful in the classroom, receiving the 2010 Rector's Scholar Athlete Award for the team's highest GPA. He was also selected to the ECAC All-Academic Team in 2009 and the Big East All-Academic Team from 2010 to 2011. Brian graduated from Rutgers University School of Law summa cum laude and is currently an attorney for Giordano, Halloran, and Chesla PC in the firm's redevelopment and real estate group. Earlier this year, Brian was recognized as a one to watch in the 2021 edition of Best Lawyers. Brian enjoys spending time with his family, including his wife Nicole and his daughter Cam. Brian always felt support from his family, including his father Larry and his mother Lisa, as well as his sister Alexis, Immaculata class of 2011, and brother Stephen, class of 2009. Brian is grateful to his family for the opportunity to attend Immaculata, and especially his late stepfather, Ronnie Borkbell, who was always his biggest fan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Immaculata Hall of Fame is Brian Shemis.
Much appreciated.
It's all yours.
It's great to be reminded how awesome you used to be. Congratulations to my fellow inductees. I'm humbled to be honored aside of you tonight. What an incredible group of people from all facets of life. Thank you to the Hall of Fame Committee for this award and all the hard work behind this incredible evening. I remember getting to Immaculata off the bus every day. I'd walk through the main doors, and sure enough, on the right, the legends from the Hall of Fame would be staring back at me, and I'd be lying if I told you that one day I didn't hope to hang there with them as the first lacrosse player inducted. You can imagine how excited I was, not too long ago when I got a call telling me that that long-forgotten goal had finally been achieved. But it's not my achievement alone, and I certainly wouldn't be here without the help of so many people, many of whom are here tonight. To the Immaculata community, thank you so much for everything you gave me, for welcoming me into your family from day one. Immaculata to me is a special place. It's a place where I met my best friends in the world. It's a place where I learned a lot about who I am as a person, and more importantly, I learned a lot about the type of person I wanted to become. Mr. Fraunheim, thank you for all the guidance you gave me, often sitting in your office. It was tough love, like the time you told me if I threw one more snowball on the way to church, you'd make me eat 10 pounds of snow covered in dog urine. That's all right. Good life lessons, I still take them with me today. A special thank you to the late Sister Mary Burster, who went out of her way every single day to make sure I was welcome and comfortable. Miss Bonham, who was supposed to be my 4th grade teacher in South Brunswick, my family moved away. Sure enough, she was waiting for me as a sophomore and junior at Immaculata English. Thank you for all your support and your belief in me. She really is the best. I love you. To the lacrosse community, there's way too many people to name, but to all the coaches, players, teammates, everyone that played a role in this, I can't thank you enough. To the Immaculata lacrosse coaches, Coach Mott, Coach Flanagan, Coach Wigner, thank you for the constant effort, all the hours you put in to help us achieve that first state championship. All the other coaches throughout the years, Chuck Appel, the Rutgers alumni, my first lacrosse coach is here somewhere, Rich Dupra back in 4th grade, Nick Special, all you guys played a major role in this. I wouldn't be here without you all. Most importantly, my teammates. You know, to me, this award represents what we accomplished together much more than it represents what I accomplished individually. The long hours, the early mornings, the late nights, I'll never be able to thank my teammates enough, especially my first friend on varsity, Ryan Adam, when we were freshmen. We lived a lot together, and, you know, I'll never be able to repay all you guys for the time and effort you spent with me. My Rutgers teammates that made me mentally tough and beat me up all the time, I love you guys. Chris, Steve, Mattis, all you guys are the best, Corey, G. My family and friends are a huge part of why I'm here today. Johnny, Jay, Rye, Jeff, and Ryan Bennett, you guys are my brothers and you will be forever. I couldn't have survived that high school without you guys. My wife and daughter, Nicole and Cam, you guys are my reason for being. I love you both so much. Thank you for everything you do for me, especially your patience, mostly your patience. And you know, you weren't there to cheer at Immaculata, but I wouldn't be here without you today. Dad, thank you for being a constant role model, a source of guidance and advice through good times and bad. Mom, where do I start? Thank you for every single sacrifice you made for me, Steve and Lexi, our family, every long car ride, every tournament fee, driving to Baltimore, Boston every weekend, camps, flights across the country, small hotel rooms, and all the family bickering that came with it. My brother, Steven, if it weren't for our endless competitions over virtually everything, I would have never pushed myself to become the player or the man I am. Thank you for being my daily source of motivation. Lexi, you're an incredible sister. Thank you so much for your support and all the hours you spent on the sideline watching our games, and for that time you agreed to put on goalie pads so I could practice my shot. Last but not least, I need to thank the single most important person to my lacrosse career, my late stepfather, Ronnie Bokra. Nobody was more passionate about my success or the success of the Immaculata lacrosse team than Ronnie. So much so that when he found out we had to practice 2 days a week at Votech in the mud, he made arrangements and rented a turf field for us so we could have a nice practice facility. Brought his own stat book to every single game because the stat girls texted too much, and certainly they were missing ground balls that I should be credited with. And most importantly, he got our whole team out of the school cafeteria every year and welcomed us to his beautiful restaurant for every season-end banquet that I ever had in my entire life. Ronnie, our time together was cut short, but I'll never be able to thank you enough for all that you gave me and my family. I know you're smiling down on this one, and this one's for you. Thank you all. Looking forward to the rest of the evening.
Presenting the award is Dale Florio. Dale was a gold graduate of Immaculata, and he's also in the Hall of Fame. Thanks, Dale. Our fourth inductee this evening is Anthony Gargiulo, the class of '02. Please turn your attention to the video for his introduction.
Immaculata High School welcomes Anthony Gargiulo into the Hall of Fame for his outstanding achievements to the athletic department, most notably on the football and lacrosse fields. During his football playing career at Immaculata, Anthony earned many honors, including First Team All-County, First Team All-Area, and First Team All-Parochial. He was recognized as Second Team All-State, as well as Central Jersey Co-Defensive Player of the Year. Coming from a Spartan family, including his sisters Danielle and Grace, After graduation from Immaculata in the spring of 2002, Anthony attended Dartmouth University, where he played three sports: football, lacrosse, and rugby. During his time at Dartmouth, Anthony was a four-year letterman, three-year starter, twice a first-team Ivy League selection. He also holds the school record for sacks in a game, sacks in a season, and sacks in a career. Continuing his football career after college, Anthony signed a one-year contract with the Calgary Stampeders in the Canadian Football League and is credited with 5 sacks. He was one of 65 players invited to Calgary's camp and remembers feeling well prepared and excited to football. Anthony considers Coach Pierce Frauenheim Sr. his inspiration, setting him up for his football career after Immaculata. He admires Mr. Frauenheim's steady hand and says he exemplifies the role model of what a man should be. Anthony is currently a senior account executive at MetLife. In his role there, Anthony is responsible for the overall relationship between clients and MetLife. Anthony enjoys spending time with family, including his wife Rachel and sons Lucas and Dominic. His love of football hasn't slowed, serving as a volunteer coach for the Madison Pop Warner football team. He credits the experience he had on the field at Immaculata for building the character and values he now practices in both his personal and professional life. Anthony said he is humbled by his induction into the Immaculata High School Hall of Fame.
Presenting the award to Anthony is another Hall of Famer, Patrick O'Neill.
You see these two guys on the end, right? All right. Man, I was really, really skinny in those pictures. It's actually kind of crazy that we have a couple coaches in the room. I don't know what they thought in me, that I was 135 pounds and 5'10", and they were going to make me a defensive lineman. And so I think Coach Capasso, I have you to thank for that in particular. But a lot of thank yous to say. Thank you to everybody who organized this event. Thank you for Coach Frauenheim for the introduction there. Appreciate it. And everybody that put together the media and also all the publications that were part of this presentation. And congratulations to my fellow inductees. Thank you very much. And you guys are very impressive, so I'm in some esteemed company. Little known story, I actually didn't want to go to Immaculata in 8th grade, and my dad, who's sitting here tonight, will recall this, that I sat in tears in front of him that I did not want to go to Immaculata. There was no way I was going, and it would be the end of my life. And now looking back 20 years from now, obviously I went, and that wasn't the last time that my dad made me do something I didn't want to do that turned out to be the best for me. So he has a history of talking me into and out of things with his infinite wisdom. But needless to say, I couldn't be happier that I attended Immaculata, and it was a great foundation for the rest of my life. If you guys look up on the wall there, you'll see there are 4 tenets on the Immaculata crest. There's faith, scholarship, service, and friendship. And there's not enough room, but I think that excellence should also be a tenet that we think of when we think of Immaculata. IHS itself was about excellence, and that's what we're here to celebrate tonight, is the excellence of some of my peers and the people that came before us. Immaculata itself really embodies that excellence and gives us the basis and the grounding to excel ourselves in our lives. And excellence is, in my mind, it's the delta of a nurture, nature, and also opportunity. So Immaculata gave us the nurture and the opportunity to excel. And there's a lot of people in this room that gave me all 3. Some of them gave me all 3, some of them gave me a few. But a lot of thanks go out to everybody who did that. From the nature and the nurture and the opportunity front, my parents, who are seated here tonight, Kim and Peter, my grandparents, one of whom is with us tonight, Geraldine Taylor, and those that passed before us, Dan Taylor and Grace and Anthony Gargiulo. They provided, of course, the nature. I was fortunate to be large, so football worked out for me. But they also gave me the nurture and the opportunity. And there's some gentlemen in the room and some teachers and some sisters. Sister Dolores, who's here tonight too, who I haven't seen in 20 years, but somehow she looks almost exactly the same as she did 20 years ago. And Coach Frauenheim, that's rubbed off on you a little bit too. You've been spending a lot of time with the sisters over the years, so somehow you haven't aged a bit. But those folks here that gave me that opportunity and that nurture in those formative years, I really thank you very much. Coach Frauenheim, Coach Capasso, Coach Kiernan, Coach Belvin, Coach Gambino, Flanagan, Sutton, Mott. There's some others that I'm sure I'm forgetting, but you guys really gave us that opportunity to grow as men on the field, and the teachers off the field as well, and give us a well-rounded education and an opportunity to grow. And Coach Capasso, again, I don't know what you were thinking, but thank you for moving me from receiver to defensive end, because even though I had these hands, I could not catch a ball, and I still can't catch a ball. And if you left me at receiver, I never would have gone to Dartmouth, and I never would have played professional football. And that really gave me, it was funny thinking back, that gave me the opportunity to do so many of the things that I'm being celebrated for tonight. So thank you for that in my freshman year. And it's thanks to you that I have the life today and the blessings that I enjoy today. So without further ado, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the evening. It's good to see you too. I'm in Randolph. We have to combine and get more involved together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little break in order to let John and Pierce have a little dinner, and we'll be back shortly, so enjoy your meal. we could ask everybody to take a seat. We'd like to get back into the program.
I'm going to do something real quick. All right, everybody take a seat, please. Let's have everybody take a seat. We're going to get the program going. Everybody take a seat, please. I want to tell you a quick story about Mr. Frauenheim. The one time I got in trouble at Immaculata, the one time I got sent to the principal's office. I was probably about 120 pounds. I was a freshman. I was scared to death. And they sent me down to see Mr. Frauenheim. Well, I walked into his office, and if you've ever been into Mr. Frauenheim's office, he never had any lights on. So the room it's basically pitch dark. And he's sitting back, and he's got his hands behind his head like this, and he's looking at me, and he just, he doesn't say anything. He just gives you one of these. He's telling me to sit down. So I'm sitting there, and he's eyeing me up, and he gives me one of these. So I came right back at him. He did one of these. I looked at him. Next thing you know, he goes like this to tell me to go to the door. And as I'm leaving, he all of a sudden says, "John, I'm glad we had this talk. Say hi to Mom and Dad."
Let's see. Our fifth inductee is Josh Morrison. Please watch the screen to see his history. Josh Morrison.
Joshua Morrison excelled in both football and baseball during his time at Immaculata. As a running back, he has the second most touchdowns in a season, and on the baseball diamond, he was a 4-year starter and the team's leadoff hitter. On the gridiron, Josh still ranks among the top 5 in rushing yardage. Acknowledged for his devotion to the sport, he is well known for rushing 1,000 yards his senior year on a broken leg. For his many football accomplishments, he was named All-Group, All-Central Jersey, and All-State. Josh's athleticism was also displayed on the baseball diamond, where he was a 4-year starter for the 4-time Somerset County champion Spartan baseball team. He was a leader in stolen bases and also ranked among the top 5 career leaders in home runs, triples, walks, batting average, hits, and runs scored. Josh continued his baseball career at Montclair State, and his love for athletics took him into the world of coaching. Josh has been a CrossFit coach for 5 years and is currently a trooper coach involved in field training officers who are recent graduates of the police academy. The life lessons of leadership and integrity learned on the field and in the classroom at Immaculata helped to lead Josh to become a New Jersey State Trooper. Josh is currently in his 15th year as a New Jersey State Trooper, where he has performed security escorts for presidents, high-profile individuals, military personnel, and more. Josh feels fortunate for the opportunity to meet and protect so many dignitaries and heads of state. Josh enjoys spending time with his wife, Natasha, also a police officer, and his 9-year-old daughter, Kendall. And he keeps himself busy spending time with Kendall coaching youth athletics. Reminiscing about his days at Immaculata, Josh gratefully acknowledges the respect he has for all his coaches, specifically Coach Frauenheim Sr., Coach Sutton, and Coach Kiernan. Josh recognizes his parents who gave him the opportunity to attend Immaculata High School. His mother directed him to stay on court and emphasized educational responsibility, while his father often told him, do your talking on the field.
Presenting Josh with his award will be my great friend, Mike Parenti.
Where's Josh? We're faster than that on a football field.
Good to see you. Finally got you.
So this is a battle with me starting or my daughter starting, and I guess I'll start. So thank you very much for the committee. Thank you for this opportunity to be here. It's very humbling, and I'm very grateful. So thank you very much. So during high school, I was afforded the opportunity to play ball, football, baseball. Thank you, Coach Gams, Coach Capasso. We talked before, right? Very instrumental in me in the beginning of my career, football and baseball, specifically football, taping up my hand, you know, those games where I broke my hand, and being there and being a supportive person was very, I don't want to say, it was very important to me that it stuck with me through these years, and I'm very grateful to you for that. Coach Lonnie, thank you. I know you're going back to Naples, but it was great to see you after 20 years. Coach Kieran, I know you're over there somewhere. Again, another coach that's been instrumental in my high school career. I know I mentioned Coach Gambino, Coach Pierce Sr. Again, very, very humbling, and I'm very fortunate to be in this position here. Secondly, after high school, I went out to play college ball for a year. After that, I was fortunate enough to get hired as a New Jersey State Trooper, and I've been a trooper for... Thank you. I've been a trooper for 15 years, 10 more years to go until retirement. Who's counting? I don't know, but I'm very fortunate with where I am in my life. My parents, thank you very much for everything, for affording me the opportunity to go to Immaculata and to continuing to provide me with guidance and structure and discipline. We know that's true. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. I know you guys are digesting. Kyle, thanks for the nomination, bro. I love you. Selma, love you. My beautiful wife, Nastasha, thank you for your continued support and just your continued value in what we all believe. So, you want to say something?
Hi, my name is Kendall, and I'm super proud of my dad.
You got it. I want one of his cards.
All that was off the cuff. There was nothing written, by the way.
Where are we here? Take care of that.
Our next inductee, let's turn our attention to the video screen, where Eileen Sullinger Logan is the next Immaculata Hall of Famer.
Eileen Sullinger Logan is a Spartan example of athletic excellence, earning varsity letters in every sport she played, including 4 in basketball and 2 in softball. She was basketball captain her senior year and led her team to place 3rd All-State in her junior and senior years. Eileen credits her parents, coach, and team for their support and encouragement. She averaged 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists per game her senior year, and the New York Daily News honored Immaculata as an All-Central Jersey team. One of the earliest to eclipse the 1,000-point scoring plateau at Immaculata, Eileen was touched by the number of people who came out to show support on her special night, including friends and family, along with Coach Pierce Trondheim Sr. and Monsignor Nevin Kennedy. Eileen's scoring feat was even celebrated in the home news after leading her Spartans to the win in her milestone game. After graduation from Immaculata in 1986, Eileen continued her basketball career with a full scholarship to Manhattan College. While Eileen may have wrapped up her time on the court, she has remained active, twice running the New York City Marathon and coaching her daughter's basketball teams. A vice president at Arch Insurance Group in New York City, Eileen is proud to join the amazing list of past and current inductees, including her sister Liz Sellinger-Lumbrough, Immaculata High School class of 1983. Eileen is also happy to celebrate this honor with the rest of her siblings, Kathy, class of 78, Mary, class of 79, Frank, class of 81, and John, class of 94. Balancing the demands of her career, Eileen enjoys spending time with her family, including her husband Chris, son Sean, and daughters Claire and Megan. Eileen believes that her faith has been strengthened through her Catholic education. She is grateful for the lessons she learned at IHS, loyalty, honesty, forgiveness, and respect, and she hopes to instill the same in her children. She'll always remember the friendships formed and many fond memories from her years at Immaculata.
Presenting Eileen with her award is Hall of Famer and sister Liz.
Well, first off, I want to thank the Hall of Fame Committee. You know, it means a lot to join my fellow nominees and other members of the Hall of Fame, you know, especially my sister Liz. So congrats to all, and thank you. Thanks to my family and friends for coming out tonight. You know, my husband mentioned that when he invited some of our friends to join us for the celebration, he said everybody was so quick to say yes, and I was like, I'm not sure if they were excited for me or just desperate for a night out post-COVID. So, but whatever the reason, thank you for coming out. It's really great to see everybody in person finally. I'm happy to have my family here, my husband Chris, and our kids Sean and Megan and Claire, all who are on their own way to their own successes in sports and in school. And you guys, you make me proud every day. So I want to thank Coach Morio for nominating me. You know, Coach Morio was really one of the best coaches I've really come across. This award wouldn't be, you know, possible without him. He was coaching me at like a critical time in my, you know, basketball career. And coaching high school aged girls, I can't imagine was an easy task. So, but you found a way to make it fun, and you dealt with our, you know, craziness. You know, I've recently been on a lot of college recruiting visits with my son Sean, And I've come across, a lot of coaches, and having had you as a coach has really helped me know what I was looking for or hoping for in a coach for him. And it's not always easy to find. So thank you for showing me what a great coach looks like. Thanks to my teammates, I was so lucky to play with some really great players over my 4 years, and they only made me a better player and person, so I thank them. And then finally, I want to thank my parents. I don't think I truly appreciated what it took to send 6 kids to Immaculata. And not just the financial, sacrifice, but the time and energy it took to get us to school and get us to practice every day and to be at our games. And it was always great to see them up in the stands. But I know it wasn't always easy to get there. It was, or easy to watch for that matter. Mom, I always remember my mother saying, like, oh my God, I hate watching you play. I love watching you play. I hate watching you play because, it was so nerve-wracking, and I totally understand that now that I watch my 3 kids. So, but nonetheless, you were there all the time, for all the wins and all the losses, and I can only hope I can emulate you both when supporting my own 2 kids. So thank you very much. The memories I made at Immaculata were some of my best, between sports and friends, my education and my faith. These are all things I took away from this special place, and I'll always be grateful. So thank you very much.
While they're taking the photo, I'm very fortunate, and the school is very fortunate to have great, great coaches. And I like all the coaches, retired or still working, to please stand. Great people. Truly, we have been very fortunate to have great men and women coaching at our school.
Please take your attention to the video screen for our next inductee. Next member of the Immaculata Hall of Fame is Kenneth Riemann.
The Immaculata Marching Band's track record of success was established nearly 40 years ago by class of 2014 Hall of Fame inductee Sister Dolores Margaret, IHN. And Kenneth Riemann has played a huge role in that success for over a quarter of a century. Ken came to Immaculata from Immaculate Conception School. While at ICS, Sister Dolores Margaret recalled the band director talking about Ken when he was only in 4th grade, saying he knew even then that Ken was definitely going to be a drummer. During his time at Immaculata, Ken was a member of the 2 Best Percussion Championships, the 1994 Immaculata High School Championship Marching Band, and earned the New Jersey Governor's Award in Arts Education in 1997. After graduating from Immaculata, Ken joined the staff of the marching band and was a member of the design and education teams, capturing 7 state and national band championships and 25 percussion championships during his tenure. He earned his Bachelor of Music Performance from Rutgers University, as well as obtained a Master of Music Performance at Temple University. Ken currently is serving our country as a member of the ceremonial brass in the United States Air Force Band. He holds the rank of Technical Sergeant, stationed at Joint Base Anacostia Bowling in Washington, D.C., performing for full honor funerals at Arlington National Cemetery, Independence Day and Memorial Day events, state arrivals, and other celebrations. He has performed at the White House and for a number of nationally broadcast Air Force Band performances including the state funeral of George H.W. Bush. Ken was the last of 4 in his family to attend Immaculata, joined by his sisters Karen, class of 90, Ann, class of 92, and Julie, class of 96. His parents, Hugh and Barbara, were very active in the Immaculata community and as band parents. Ken and his wife, Melissa, also Immaculata class of 1997, live in the Washington, D.C. area with their 3 boys, Kevin, Christopher, and Jake.
Presenting the award, Sister Dolores Margaret.
I had so much hair in that picture. Oh my gosh. Time marches on, right? Thank you so much. I'm just so incredibly honored to be here with you tonight to accept this recognition as a Immaculata Hall of Fame inductee for the class of 2021. I want to say congrats to my fellow inductees. It's amazing just to be among so many accomplished people here that have come through IHS. When I received the call from Stacy Geary last fall, I'd say I was pretty taken aback just at the thought of even being considered, let alone being accepted. And I just want to say I want to thank those who were involved with writing that nomination. Dan Bonham, Mike Gasco, Sister Dolores, and my sister, Karen Amabile, and my wife, Melissa. There was this whole, I later found out there was this whole conspiracy kind of thing. They were all like emailing each other and texting each other, and when did Ken do this, or when did he do that, where was he where, and they were trying to put all this stuff together. So it was just really humbling to hear that, and I was very thankful. There was many others involved in the Hall of Fame process. I just want to acknowledge, make sure they know I'm thankful. Linda Piscadlo, Chair of the Hall of Fame tonight, Rich Rao, Robert Helwig, and Stacy Geary from the Advancement Office, and anyone else behind the scenes who I may have missed. Special thanks to our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Frohnheim and John Commune. Sister Dolores, she just means so much to me, and I can think of nobody else better suited to be my precursor here tonight. I've been both a student, of course, at Immaculata, and I was in the music department, but then was fortunate enough to be a colleague of hers for many years following. And that was just, I'm eternally grateful. Sister has like all these little isms and little words of wisdom. Sometimes you don't realize so much volume can come out of such a, the visual and the audio doesn't seem to always line up. She has a much softer personality now, but when I was there, it was watch out. And you've known me and my entire family for over 30 years. All my sisters, we all went through Immaculata. We're all in the music department. So it was just really big part of our lives. And, IHS was the place where I discovered what I really wanted to do in life. I found my role, I found my passion. It's the place where I met some great lifelong friends, people that are joining us tonight. It's the place where I met my future wife, Melissa. Melissa's class of 97 as well. We met and we've been together since 1996, excuse me. Oops. So consequently, the school holds a very dear place in my heart. I have many fond memories of math with Mrs. Petsu, if you guys remember her, or Spanish with Mrs. Bifus. She was really awesome, and music with Sister. Mr. Brown was our band director at the time. I just want to point him out as well. He was an amazing influence. And I would spend basically any free time I could down the band hallway. So we called it the band hallway. And that's the room, honestly, that's where the guidance office is now. So if you picture the guidance office, it was just an open room. And we'd pack like 100 kids in there during like an activity period. Apparently there was no fire code rules in the 90s. I don't know how that happened. But it's really a place like I felt like I was at home, a place where I belonged. And then that was all, of course, until Sister would come into the hallway and just yell, "Move!" if you were goofing around. And then everyone would scatter, just like birds, when you clap at birds. But I couldn't be more proud to be in this Hall of Fame. I wanted to say thanks to my family. Thanks for all the support through all the years. My loving wife, Melissa. I have 3 wonderful boys, Chris, Kevin, and Jake. To my dad, Hugh, thank you for seeing the value in going to Immaculata. At a time, and they just mentioned he had 6 in Catholic school at one time. We had 4. There was at one point where there was 4 of us all in Catholic school. ICS, straight through. So we went, 12 years of Catholic school, all 4 of us. And, as a dad now, it just seems like such a monumental thing to make happen. But you and Mom did it. And you guys, as you always would, you would always make it happen for us. And Mom would have been proud to be here today. We all miss her very, very dearly. I want to say thank you to my sisters and my in-laws. I have every single in-law here today, which is pretty awesome. And it means so much to be in the company of loving family for a moment like this. My drumline team, Dan Bonham, Nancy Bonham, Kevin McKeever, Chris Dudley, Neil Cody, and Luke Schmedlin. I have learned so much from you guys over the years. There's a saying that goes loosely something like, the best teachers are perpetual students. And just the collaboration between all of us, I just always found so rewarding and inspiring. We built some amazing drum lines over the years, and it's something I'll just always be proud of. And to top it off, they're some of the finest human beings you will ever find, worthy of the highest honors themselves. And Dan Bonham, I just want to say your commitment and dedication to the music department and the school as a whole is just truly remarkable. You are a model of service and one that I try to emulate to this day. And thank you. And in short, I'm just deeply honored to be among these other highly qualified and esteemed inductees. I humbly accept this recognition and hope I can continue to live a life that's worthy of such an honor. Thank you for considering me. Thank you for accepting me. Thank you for holding this wonderful event for all of us to mark the occasion. And just thank you and have a good night. Thank you very much.
Please turn your attention to the video screen once again, where we welcome the newest member of the Immaculata Hall of Fame, and his name is Mike Cust.
Michael Cust joins the Immaculata High School Hall of Fame with an impressive resume of athletic contributions during his high school career, including earning a varsity letter in baseball all 4 years. Michael was named First Team All-County, All-Area, and All-State in 2001, as well as First Team All-American in the Collegiate Baseball publication, when he had a .580 batting average with 9 home runs during his senior year. He was also an integral part of starting a Spartan tradition where he won 4 consecutive Somerset County championships during his playing career with Immaculata. After graduation, Michael's love of baseball allowed him to travel the country, including tournaments in Long Beach, California with the Florida Pirates, playing with Seton Hall University, and playing alongside his brother Kevin at Manatee Junior College in Bradenton, Florida, while his grandparents Bill and Sarah Lynn Faraday cheered him on. Michaels was one of the first to play at the Jack Cuss Baseball Academy, known today as Diamond Nation. Home of the Spartans since 2001, Michael now serves in the role of Assistant General Manager at Diamond Nation, where he now helps run the facility's day-to-day operations. Michael feels blessed to have a beautiful family that includes his wife Jessica and 2 children, Carter and Chloe. Reflecting on his Hall of Fame recognition, Michael shared, "It is such an honor to be inducted into the Immaculata High School Hall of Fame alongside my 2 brothers, Jack, class of '97, and Kevin, class of 2000. Michael added, "Immaculata taught me so many life lessons at such an important stage of my life. I learned a lot about myself through the ups and downs, as well as my relationship with God and how important that relationship is as I continue this lifelong journey. So many great memories and relationships that I will cherish forever."
Presenting the award to Michael Cust, his brother Jack Cust, Hall of Fame class of 202, and Kevin Cust, Hall of Fame class 2011. Please come forward.
Kenny, that voice never gets old listening to. I've listened to it since I was a kid, watching Jason Ryan, Jack Cust, and it just never gets old, man. Coach Frauenheim, can we give a round of applause for this man right here? This man is one of the most remarkable men I've ever met in my life, and I couldn't be more honored to join you tonight. And that's the truth. I do have a question for you, though. What was up with all the football players just hanging out in your office all the time? I never understood that. I didn't play football, so I never understood what that was about. I only got called in your office once. Shaving. We shaved. I had to shave one time. You called me in your office. But no, it's a beautiful night, and I'm happy to be here. You know, as Josh Morrison said, I'm not winging it. I have a speech written out, and no, my daughter did not want to come up here with me tonight. Come on, Chloe, you're better than that. So I just want to start out by saying, first and foremost, I'd like to congratulate my fellow inductees this evening. It's truly an honor to be getting inducted into the Immaculata Hall of Fame with you guys tonight. We are all here for one another, and I'm grateful to be celebrating this night with you guys. Second, I want to thank God for giving me the ability to play sports and excel at such a high level. Also for building such a great team around me throughout my entire life. Through God, my family, and great friendships, I stand in front of you here tonight, grateful and honored to be here. They say you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with, and I have been blessed with the people that I've been surrounded in my life. This accomplishment is a direct result with the people in my life that have taught me and provided me honesty, integrity, and loyalty no matter what. Always be a team player and not focus on just yourself. Nothing will ever be given to you in life, and everything is earned through hard work and dedication. Over the years, I have failed consistently maintaining those core values. But I've learned it's not about how many times you fall, it's how you pick yourself up. Sometimes in life, we need a little help. We need a little push from others, and that's where my father comes into play. Sorry. I learned a valuable lesson from my father at 9 years old when I got cut from my all-star baseball team. I didn't understand why I wasn't there practicing with my friends that day as I pulled up to the baseball field with my dad. It was an emotional time in my life, filled with sadness and misunderstanding why I was not part of my friends practicing with the team. My dad looked in his rearview mirror and he asked me, he said, "Are you sad? Are you sad you're not out there with your friends tonight?" And I replied, "Yes." His response to me that day was one I will never forget. He said, you must work for things in life. Things will not be handed to you because you think you deserve it. You didn't work hard enough to be on that team, and this is the result." As a 9-year-old boy, that's not what I wanted to hear, but it's what I needed to hear from my father, as the feeling of loneliness and emptiness was one I never wanted to feel again, on the athletic field or as a human being. So my dad and I set goals for myself and created a plan the following year to be the best I could be. And my goal with my father was to make the 10-year-old All-Star team. We worked out together every day that off-season, and not only did I make the All-Star team, I became one of the best players in the entire league at the age of 10. I owe everything to my father. He was tough on me and my brothers because he believed in the three of us. He believed in many people, and he brought out the best of everyone on the baseball field. He gave kids confidence they never knew they had and made believers out of many of my friends growing up. He was the best coach I have ever seen at getting a player to maximize their potential. I just want to take this opportunity to thank my dad for believing in me when at times I did not, and for always picking me up when I was down. I don't think my dad realizes what an impact he made on many kids' lives growing up on the baseball field. I still see kids today from my childhood, and they still talk about my dad 20 to 30 years later and how much of an impact he made on their lives. I love you, Dad. Tonight is all because of you. You have not only left your mark on me, but with many others, and I thank you for that. Moving on to my mother, Faith. She was always there for me and my brothers growing up. She went to all of our games, from the Little League days to the Immaculata High School days, playing at the great Southside Avenue field. That was the treasure of Somerville, wasn't it? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. When she was not at the game rooting for us, she was taking care of the house while my dad worked long hours at the office. As I look back, I want to say thank you to my mother for always being so supportive and being such a good listener and a mother over the years. Tonight may be my Hall of Fame induction, but to me, you'll always be my Hall of Fame mother because you're the best mom a boy could have. I love you, and I'm so happy to share this moment with you. I would not be here without your love and support. Sorry, I got a few pages, guys. And I know my kids are tired, but I'd be a disservice not to talk about the people that have impacted me in my life. I owe everything to them. My two brothers, Jack and Kevin, what the heck can I say about them that everybody in here doesn't already know? We are fortunate to be so close to one another and have each other in our lives. My brother Jack was such an inspiration for me growing up. Being 4 years older than me, I looked up to him, and he was definitely my idol. I always knew Jack was destined for great things because he was always the best at anything that he tried. And when he made the decision to attend Immaculata High School, I too made that decision to attend IHS as well. Even though I was only 10 or 11 years old at the time, I didn't care. Whatever Jack was doing, I was following his footsteps. I was so proud of him as he was already joining a winning tradition with great players. Watching Jack's growth as a player in high school was something that really inspired me. and I could not wait to be like Jack and make a name for myself at Immaculata High School. He had such a big influence on my life and showed me how to be tough and how to be a competitor. I love you, Jack. Keep doing big things in your life as you always have. I know you always will. You inspired me to always do my best and compete at the highest level. It's an honor to join you in the Immaculata Hall of Fame tonight. I love you, man. My brother Kevin, what can I say? We're basically twins. I am the last Cuss brother to get inducted, by the way. This is it. There's no more. Gams was mad my mom didn't keep having kids because he would have had better teams as the time went on, but that's all right. He said that tonight. He said that. We were basically raised together from birth as we were so close in age. It was an honor watching you grow up and become the man you are today. My favorite part about my relationship with my brother is how we pick each other up when we are down. One of the most memorable moments at Immaculata was during my freshman year, spring, 98 season. This was a big moment for me. It was the day we were playing a county game at Hillsborough. I guess Hillsborough somehow was the higher seed that year, so we were playing at Hillsborough. We were taking BP at Southside, and if I recall, Anthony Rocco Rotolo threw a ball at my brother Kevin while he wasn't looking and hit him smack right in the face. Kevin went down for the count and could not play in the game that day. Now, Kevin was one of the best players in the state, probably one of the best players in the country. So when he went down that day, I got worried. I was nervous. I was like, who's going to pick up our team? And he had to go to the hospital, I believe. He didn't even attend the game. That day, and I don't know if I'm saying his first name right, but I think it was Brett Scapino was on the mound. Brett Scapino was a kid that I had faced the summer before and dominated me. He was a senior in high school. I was like in 8th grade. I was a freshman. He was a left-handed pitcher, threw about 85, 86, good two-seam movement. Probably the best pitcher I had seen, being a 15-year-old. And that spring, I was seeing the ball good off him. And that day, I came up to plate. It was the 6th inning. We were down by 2 runs. I wrote this down. I'm just going off my head now. I came up to plate with two men on base in the 6th inning. I was seeing the ball really well that day, and I knew he was throwing me a lot of curveballs that day. He had a 12-6 nasty break, and he just kept throwing me curveballs. And I'm like, dude, I'm a freshman. Throw me a fastball. I didn't understand it. So he was throwing me a lot of curveballs, my third at bat, and I knew if he threw me something straight out over the plate, I was going to hit it hard. I was just seeing it really big off him. Well, he threw me that fastball that day, and I can remember hitting it, and I absolutely crushed it. That ball went well beyond the left center field fence at the Hillsborough High School field, and I had just hit my first high school home run as an Immaculata Spartan. I can remember rounding third base. I got to do this. And Coach Gams repeatedly yelling, "Hey, that's you, Frosh! That's you, Frosh!" And that's all I heard. And I don't even know if Gams was coaching third or he was in the dugout or what, but that's all I heard. And as I rounded third, would you say Zezer? What are you doing? What are you doing? You rounded third, you hit a home run. I rounded third base, and I could just remember the feeling I had, that a complete 180 of the feeling I felt from when I got cut from my 9-year All-Star team. It was the feeling of love, happiness, and triumph I felt a part of that day. That day was the day I became a Spartan. Although it was the best feeling I had in that point in my life, there was something missing. My brother Kevin was not there to see how it was me this time picking him up and picking the team up. That was one of the greatest moments of my life. Sorry, you said that. Sorry, I'm going back and forth. Spending the next several years playing together both in high school and college, I can say it was an honor watching you grow, not only as a player, but as a person. I'm so grateful to be inducted and following my brother Jack and Kevin's footsteps. Their paths have guided me to my own, and I'm fortunate to have such great big brothers who have had such an influence on my life. I love you both very much. All right, I'm getting there, guys. My beautiful wife, Jessica, she's sitting right there. She's got the nice orange dress. You can't miss her. She told me not to mention her tonight, but I am not listening as usual. What can I say about my wife, Jessica? I would not be where I am in my life without your support. You're such a beautiful person, both inside and out. I will need you and will always need you in my life. I don't tell you enough how much you mean to me and our family, but you're the best wife, mother, daughter, and sister a person could ever ask for. Thank you for always standing by my side no matter what. I love you, babe. My two kids, Carter and Chloe, they're 7 and 8 years old. Well, my daughter's going to be 7 in 2 weeks. What a blessing from God. Sometimes I wonder how I got so lucky to have such incredible children. Sorry, I'm emotional. One of the greatest gifts I have received in my life are my two children. They're only 7 and 8 years old, but I learn so much from my kids every day. They have so much compassion and love for the world around them and remind me that it is okay to make mistakes. It's part of life. It's who we are. I'm so honored that I get to share this moment with my kids and that they are now old enough to understand what is happening and that your daddy was once a good athlete. I don't know what happened. I can't even throw a baseball anymore or a football. But that's not what tonight is about. It's not just about me. I may be getting honored, but to me it's about the people God has put in my life. It's about my family, my friends, my coaches, and last but definitely not least, it's about Immaculata High School. God has surrounded me and blessed me with many gifts, people, and opportunities to succeed and be standing here in front of you tonight. These people I've just mentioned are a huge piece that completes a big part of my life. I love my family. I love everyone that is here supporting me tonight, and I can't thank you enough. Last person, but definitely not the least by any means, is my coach, Coach Gambino. The best. I watch Gams coach Jason Ryan, Tony Giselle, Jack Cust. I mean, any coach would love to have those players, let's be honest. But Gams deserved to have those players and have those players in his life. And those players deserve to have Gams in their life. And I watched Gams and just the way he was, and he just had that presence about him, man. There was a special person in there and just a special energy about him. First thing I noticed about Gams was how passionate and how loyal he is. Loyal to both his coaches and his players and anyone he develops a relationship with. Gams loved his guys and would take a bullet for any one of his players. That's just the kind of person he is. He had our backs, and we definitely had his. Playing for Coach Gams for 4 years was not only an honor, but some of the most fun I've ever had playing for any one coach. During my freshman year, Coach Gams was using me as the designated fielder. I started varsity as a freshman every game, but I was the designated fielder. He didn't trust my bat. I wasn't a Jack Cust threat at the plate as a freshman. And he used me as a designated fielder because he knew I was one of the best players defensively he had. But I had to work on my bat, so I only played the field for a majority of the season. I had to prove not only to myself, but to Coach Gams that I was worth putting in the batting lineup, and I did that through continued practice and hard work with my father. Eventually, I got my shot, and after that county game at Hillsborough that year, I earned my way into the lineup. A continued life lesson to expect nothing and work for everything if you want it. It's such a privilege not only to call him coach, but a great friend today. I love you, brother. You are and will always be the doctor. Thank you for having my back and nominating me with this honor. I'm very grateful and humbled to be inducted and join you and other great athletes tonight. I just want to take this last moment. I want to thank Immaculata High School for continuing to do a great job in putting this. Look at these guys. This is my son. He's the best looking kid here, isn't he? I love my son more than anything. I just want to say thank you to Immaculata High School for continuing to do a great job in putting this event together. Recognition is not something I am used to, but it's an honor to be part of this, and such an honor to be part of an incredible tradition. Here comes Chloe. Sorry, I just elbowed you in the head. Incredible tradition at an incredible school, with a great faculty and staff. Thank you, Immaculata family, and God bless you all. I love the slogan on the flyer, honoring spiritual, intellectual, physical, emotional, and social growth. That slogan is everything that Immaculata embodies for me. I could not be happier to be a part of such a beautiful tradition and such a beautiful night. I love you all. Thank you very much.
Got last, but certainly not the least. Certainly not the least conductee is our team honor, the champions of women's softball, 1981. Turn your attention to the screen.
Immaculata High School has a rich tradition of athletic excellence filled with individual accolades and dozens of county and state team championships, as evident by our packed trophy cases and banners hanging on our walls. This success started 4 decades ago with the 1981 Leeds Spartan softball team, who captured the first state championship in Immaculata's history, winning the NJSIAA Group 1 title. With a mix of sophomore, junior, and senior talent, under the guidance of the Home News Tribune Coach of the Year Nancy Gunzelman, along with assistant Tim Madaville and pitching coach Phil Sadati, this history-making team compiled a record of 23-5-1 en route to the championship. Known for their fundamentals and speed on the base pass, Immaculata captured the Group 1 trophy by beating Beckton High School by a score of 2-1 in the championship game. We are proud to recognize the players and coaches of Immaculata High School's 1981 state championship softball team. As your name is called, please join us on the stage. Lisa Amatucci, class of 1981. The late Betty Clifford, class of 1982. Christine Gianpaolo, class of 1981. Lorraine Ficcicelli, class of 1981. Elizabeth Amatucci Gleason, class of 1981. Joanne Glennon, class of 1981. Head coach Nancy Gunzelman Hartrup. Laura Berkuda Heller, class of 1981. Catherine Shore Hoffman, class of 1982. Catherine Graham Johnson, class of 1983. Liz Selinger Lumbra, class of 1983. Assistant coach Timothy Manaville Jr. Pitching coach Philip Sadati. Karen Connolly Snitchjack, class of 1981. Pamela Rose, class of 1982. Tesla Wexler, class of 1981. Janet Sadati Ziegler, class of 1983. Congratulations to the 1981 softball team on your induction into the Immaculata High School Hall of Fame. And thank you for setting the foundation of excellence for generations of future Spartans.
Presenting will be Hall of Famers Coach Bob Sutton and Coach Tom Gambino. is. Elizabeth Ann Matucci Gleason. What's up, bud? That's good. Joanne Glennon. Nancy Gunselman Hartram. Lori Bracuda Heller. Catherine Shore Hoffman. Nice. Catherine Graham Johnson. What's up, bud? How are you? Good to see you. That's awesome. Elizabeth Salinger Lumbra. Timothy Manaville. Is that right? Nice. Philip Sadati. Good job. Karen Connolly Stitchkak. Chesla Welchkar. And Janet Sadati Ziegler.
No, here, by your dad. Right by your dad. Thank you so much. Can you put that picture up so we can stand in order? Oh, yeah, we're staying in the right place. You guys have to go. Short people. All right. Oh.
Wow. Great job, ladies. Congratulations.
All right, Lori is.
Lori's fault.
Hi, everyone. I also prepared a speech. It's a few pages long, but with my age, the font's a lot bigger. So, good evening. My name is Lori Bracuda Heller. I was the captain and played second base for the 1981 girls softball state championship team. Our coach Nancy will introduce our overall team after I speak. I would first like to thank the Immaculata Hall of Fame Committee for nominating our team and letting me say a few words. And I'd like to also recognize and congratulate all of the other individuals being inducted today and sharing in this honor. We are all truly blessed. But for today, I'd like to start with a quote by Hank Aaron. In playing ball and in life, a person occasionally gets the opportunity to do something great. When that time comes, only two things matter. Number one, being prepared to seize the moment, and number two, having the courage to take your best swing. In 1981, we never expected that we would ever be able to seize any great moment, like winning a state championship, but we definitely had the courage and determination to give it our best swing. I personally remember going into my senior year, I almost decided not to try out for softball. My friends started driving, I had a car, I wanted to enjoy being 18 years old. And I was so tired of running those suicide sprints in the gym, up and down the basketball court, where Rosemary Gessner and I ended up coming in last anyway, every single time. And we always had to run to the exchange field on Green Street for our practices. And if we didn't beat our coach to the practice field, there would be lots more running to do. Mind you, our coach Nancy was driving with all of our equipment, and we were running. So we took off as fast as we could. But it sure felt like we did a lot of running that year. Our team was special,
as was our entire class. And I just have to say, we have over 15 from the class of 81 here. Go class of 81. Our 1981 class seemed to be friends with everyone. I think one reason was due to all of the siblings from the big families, like the Dupras, the Sirianos, the Sellingers, and the Catalics, to name a few. But for all of us on our team, we were not just teammates, but true friends and sisters, but the kind of sister you did not have a cat fight with. We all got along. We played great together and made each other laugh. We owed most of our laughter to Betty Clifford and Liz Sellinger. They were always making jokes and keeping our spirits high. As one of the returning seniors, I was honored that I was nominated to be captain. But that honor also brought with it more responsibility in keeping our team motivated, inspired, and thinking positive. Those same leadership qualities that I carry through in my life still today. But we can't lose sight of what it means to be part of a team and the importance our community has in supporting us. And I'm not referring to just being on a sports team. I mean the entire high school experience, including all other activities like music, art, theater, and so much more. This all becomes the other half of our education and helps to shape who we are. The friends we chose, the desire to go to college, and for many of us, it has led to career paths offering us opportunities to give back and reteach life lessons that we have learned, especially at such a fragile time in our lives like today in dealing with this pandemic. When I look at the other inductees tonight, I recognize that we come with our own experiences from different times and different places, yet we are all united in the agreement that a positive high school experience can be a game changer in our lives. We need to keep encouraging the next generation to participate and stay involved because it helped all of us be more resilient, positive, and stay confident. But here are a few softball memories I'd like to share with you now. As our 1981 state softball playoff game approached, the seniors were told by our coach, Nancy, that if any of us cut on senior cut day, we could not play in the state playoff game. So none of us did. But someone back then remembered that Pierce Sr., I don't know if Pierce remembers this, but he went down to Colonial Park in Somerset and found all of the seniors that cut that day and told them to get back to school in 20 minutes. Not sure if senior cut day still exists 40 years later, but I do know we all uphold the tradition of walking to ICS Mass on the first Friday of every month. After we won the state semifinal game against Bishop Eustace by a score of 3-2, which was a very tense game, on the next school day, our coach Nancy got called down to Sister Marita's office for taking the Lord's name in vain. After all of our very stressful games, that next Monday we would hear over the intercom, "Miss Gunzelman, can you please report to Sister Marita's office?" And we always knew what that meant. To this day, I still remember pulling up to the state final game against Becton 40 years ago on June 6th at Mercer Park in Trenton. It was a softball player's dream, at least for Immaculata. As the underdog, we went into this game to just have fun. All of the local newspapers favored Becton. As the game was about to start, while outside of the dugout, and for every game, we always held hands and said our prayers. But on that day, we said an extra one. You could see the determination on everyone's faces, especially our coaches. As we loaded the field, the mood was tense. We looked to the bleachers to see all of the dedicated parents and friends there to cheer us on. Some of our biggest fans were Lori Ficcicelli's parents and brother, Mr. Amatucci, Mr. Sellinger, who's here tonight, my mom, who passed away last year, and Peter Surge, who's here tonight as well. Janice Adati, now Ziegler, took to the mound, warming up with her usual figure-8 style of pitching. Janet always kept her cool on the field and maintained her consistency. But there were times that you could tell she was getting a little frustrated. She would usually when she was frustrated, she would stare out into the outfield. Our coach, Nancy, would call, "Time out!" Take a walk to the mound, and then talk to her. Then she'd come right back to strike out the next two hitters. In the top of the seventh, we were up 2-0. Kathy Graham on third base pounced on the bag just in time for the forced last out that ended the game. We all ran to the pitcher's mound and screamed, "We did it!" We played well that game, and we wanted it a little more. We were generally a come-from-behind team and never gave up. We might have even had a little divine intervention that day, too. Who knows? Janet pitched a one-hitter that day, and we capitalized on some sloppy fielding by Becton. It was truly a game of firsts. The first ever state championship for any sport in the history of Immaculata, and Coach Nancy's first and last season in 1981 at Immaculata. She was then leaving to move to New York for another job. Nancy was one of the youngest coaches at 23 years old to bring home a state title. That is pretty amazing. After our bus pulled into the parking lot later that day, we took the trophy over to the convent to show the nuns. They all came outside and congratulated us. Some of them were even out of their habits. As we all got back to school on Monday on June 8th, Nancy was not called down to Sister Marita's office this time, but instead over the intercom, they announced our state championship win. Our team gathered by the main office. Everyone congratulated us in the halls. A ceremony was held by the trophy case to present our trophy to Mr. Fraunheim. That same night was our senior graduation day, so it was truly a great day, especially for all the seniors. I'm not sure if Pierce remembers this, but Mr. Fraunheim actually brought me to the Old York Inn, the Old York Inn. Everybody's been there, I know it, to pick out the design for our state championship jackets. Our championship team picture was put in the 1982 yearbook, where our smiles spanned the entire centerfold. Our school and community were truly proud and honored. McLaughlin Real Estate, over by the Somerville Courthouse, even added our win to their outdoor marquee sign on the side of their office building. Their sign is still there today, and I still catch seeing a few new Immaculata shout-outs on it as I drive by. Our 1981 softball season, and especially this win, was a memory we will never forget, and a bond with all of these women that can never be broken. It was an experience that changed our lives forever. There is truly something special and comforting in what is timeless. So in life, always try to get the opportunity to do something great. Join your community. Do not let the pace of change overwhelm you. Seize the moment and have the courage to take your best swing. The best attitude is to expect the unexpected. Hank Aaron would have been proud of us all back in 1981. So in closing, all the best to you and your families. Stay safe and be well, and may God bless us, everyone. Now I will turn it over to Coach Nancy for a few words, and thank you again for this honor.
Nice going, Lori.
All right. Okay. Good evening. It's so exciting to be here this evening. I am so honored and humbled to have my softball team inducted into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to all the athletes for their hard work and dedication devoted to Immaculata High School. I had just graduated the College of New Jersey and was starting my young career as a health and phys education teacher. I had coached the JV team in 1980, and we had a successful season of 15-3. Coach Helen Gummerlock had left in 1980, and I was promoted as the head softball coach of the varsity team. The rumor amongst the staff and students was we would just have an average season. I had a young, talented athletes that were eager to play and win. We started from the season with the basics, from team conditioning, a lot of running, and I know, suicide sprints, bunting, stealing, fielding, and manufacturing runs. We capitalized on the other team's errors. I was so blessed to have a pitching coach, Dr. Philip Sadati, who worked with his daughter Janet Sadati and Lisa Amatucci, my pitchers. Janet Sadati's season record was 18-3. Both my pitchers knew how to change up their pitches and worked hard on the corners. They kept my catcher, Joanne Glennon, on her toes. My infield was solid, with Liz Sellinger at first, Captain Lori Bercuda and Chesla Wexler at second, Betty Clifford at shortstop, and Kathy Graham and Elizabeth Amatucci at third base. My outfield knew how to hit their cutoffs, comprised of Pam Rose in left field, Lori Ficcicelli in center field, and Kathy Shore and Karen Connolly in right field. On June 6, 1981, 40 years ago, we were in the state finals at Mercer Park. We were matched up with Beckton Regional High School. They were favored to win. Janet Sadati pitched a one-hitter, and my team capitalized on their sloppy fielding. We were the first team in the history of Immaculata High School to win a state crown. We won the game not 2-0, excuse me. The bus ride home was loud, and we were chanting, "We are the champions." I could not have accomplished this without my assistant coach, Tim Manaville, Dr. Philip Sadati, and mostly, of course, my girls. At the end of the season, my husband Scott and I were transferred to Poughkeepsie, New York, where my husband's job was relocated. Small rural towns in upper New York made it difficult to find a teaching position. I was hired as a recreation therapist for Hudson River Psychiatric Center. I was not satisfied that this would be my future career. I worked there for 5 years and went to school at SUNY University at night to become a registered nurse. I was employed for the community visiting nurses for 20 years, and I just retired this April. I would like to thank my husband, Scott, of 39 years, who, by the way, was at every softball game. He never missed one, rode the bus when he could. My 3 grown children, Kristen, Jesse, and Travis, and of course, my 5 adorable grandchildren. I would like to take a moment to remember 2 of my softball players. Betty Clifford, my shortstop, class and team clown, always had a smile. Loved her jokes, and above all, she was an all-around athlete. Betty was 48 years old and passed away on January 23, 2013. I had the honor of being her father, Mr. William Clifford's nurse. Rosemary Gessner was age 56. She was on the JV team. She was always eager to play and happy at heart. Rosemary died on October 15, 2020. Although they died too soon, they hold a place in this team's heart, and of course mine, and so missed by our team. My deepest sympathy to their families and loved ones. My softball team compiled a record of 23 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie, with a Group 1 state championship. I had 4 players, Janet Sadati, Liz Sellinger, Betty Clifford, and Lori Ficcicelli, named to First Team Somerset County. I was so honored to be named Somerset County Coach of the Year. I would like to conclude that I am so proud of each and every one of my girls, now grown ladies, sitting out there. It has been 40 years. I will never forget June 6, 1981, as long as I live. You were the drive, catalyst, and success that made us the first team ever in any sport to win a state championship at Immaculata High School. Thanks goes out to the Immaculata High School Hall of Fame Committee, especially Stacy Geary, Mr. Fraunheim, for all your hard work and success to making this an evening so special. God bless and be safe. Remember, girls, we are the champions. Thank you.
I believe they took a picture. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank Linda Piscadlo for all of her hard work. Okay. and the entire committee. It was a great event. I thank you for coming. Drive safely. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
I think he's going to say benediction.
If Janet Hadar and Joe Colillo would just stop up here on the stage before you leave, we have to take another picture. And to conclude tonight's event, Monsignor Solano.
So I just want to offer our congratulations to all our 2021 Hall of Fame inductees. We are very proud of you and thank you. Just a couple of words of thanks. I just want to thank Rich Rao and all those in our advancement office for pulling all of this together. You know, it really does take a small army of people to make this happen. But I do want to acknowledge them and all those who are working behind the scenes to make tonight's event possible. And lastly, I just want to thank all of you for your constant support of Immaculata and for the spirit and the energy that you bring that makes Immaculata High School what it is. So thank you all. And let us conclude with prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty God, with hearts filled with gratitude, we offer you grateful praise. For you are the source of all that we are, all that we have. We ask that you pour out your blessing upon us and upon our schools, that you continue to strengthen us in our mission, that we might truly be light for the world and salt for the earth in all that we do. And you who guard us in our comings and goings, we ask that you give us safe journey home until that day when you gather us all together in the peace and in the joy of the kingdom. And we ask all of this through Christ our Lord. The Lord be with you. And may Almighty God bless you, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Thank you, everyone.
Joe Colillo and Janet Hadar to the stage.